All right. Hello, Red Earth team. Matt Ham here, jumping on our weekly call as a way to help keep you guys encouraged, motivated, and moving toward your own professional and personal goals in your life. Thank you all for those who are on the live call. Of course, those who catch this on the rebroadcast or the replay on our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys use this YouTube channel as an asset. We've got 30 or 40 different calls like this. You know, if you're going to an appointment or you're driving to a broker's office or you have to run down the road to the grocery store and you've got 15 minutes in the car, I hope that sometimes you'll spend that 15 minutes jamming out to some 80s rock or some 90s grunge or whatever your preference is. But also when you're spending time in the car, one of the great things to do is consume things that feed you on a personal level and a professional level. You all probably have podcasts that you listen to. You probably all have some preference of content that you take in. So I would challenge you to use what we're doing here as a way to kind of keep you moving and fed, well fed from a professional and a personal level. So we are kicking off 2021, and everybody give me a hallelujah, an amen, a yes, if you agree that 2020 was a challenging year, and it was certainly something I don't think that many of us saw. But the good news is it is behind us. However, I don't want to sit here and fall into this lull that 2021 is going to be circumstantially different. What I'm saying is that no matter what challenges we faced in 2020, there are going to continue to be challenges in 2021. And the number one thing that I see among salespeople is they fail when they allow their circumstances to dictate not their success, but their daily consistency. Their daily consistency. It's really easy when circumstances happen to cause you to get frustrated. You know, I've had multiple calls with many of this team, and of course, this is what I do professionally. So I talk with salespeople in a variety of different venues, a variety of different industries. And one of the greatest things that I see among salespeople is when they allow circumstances that they cannot control to affect what they can control. And this is a primary thing that I want to establish as we move forward beginning the new year. One of the things that's an essential of kind of the way Red Earth handles these on-site community sales is that, you know, you gotta be there. We have P1, P2, a point system, meaning that there is someone there who is on point to be available that day in the event that someone walks in, that new leads call in, and then there's a backup there for a P2 in the event that they are needed. And what is easy to happen, right, is you lull yourself into an environment where you go, you know what, I really don't have to work today. I really don't have to show up today, so I'm not going to show up today. Okay? That is very different than providing yourself some time off. That's very different than scheduling out a day off when you're going to take care of things. And so I'm coming to you guys to say, we talked the end of last year and the first part of this year about goal setting. You know, John and I have talked about this. I think organizationally, most folks are in that 15 to 18 sales as far as a goal is concerned. You know, we've talked about how to set goals. We've talked about breaking those goals down. But you can't have goals and you can't move in a direction if you're not willing to simply show up every day. That idea of consistency and focus is the first thing that I really want to hammer into our time together today. Nothing can stop you from showing up except yourself. Nothing can stop you from showing up except yourself. There's a gentleman a number of years ago who used to walk in our neighborhood in front of our home. And he was 92, 93 years old. And his name was Ray. And he was the nicest guy. And I promise you, I could set my clock by Ray walking in front of our home at 92, 93 years old. And I asked him one day, I said, Ray, where do you live? And he told me where he lived, and it was like 1.5 miles away from my home. So at 92, 93 years old, Ray was walking his morning walk, and he said, I can't tell you how long I've done this, but it's just always something that I've done because I believe it benefits me in a physical, way, and this just is what I do. He was so consistent in his commitment to get up every day. And, we all have these things. We say, oh, I would love to be consistent like that. I would love to do these things consistently. And the bottom line is you just have to do them. You just have to show up. And, I was curious one day because we had a major snowstorm here in Wilmington, which does not happen. And we had probably 4 to 6 inches of snow, and there was ice all over the road, and it was kind of messy out. And it was also about 28 degrees. Guess what? Here comes Ray, a 92-year-old man walking 3 to 4 miles in 28-degree weather in the snow. Consistency, showing up. And so there's this thing that we have to cultivate in ourselves, that we don't allow excuses to dictate our actions. Listen, I know that there are things that are challenges that need to change. I understand that organizationally, corporately, we're working on stuff to make it a better environment for you all to be successful. But the one thing that you can manage is yourself and your daily activity. That means if the model opens up at 10 a.m., then you be there at 10 a.m. And that means if you're working today, then you need to do the things that need to be done to move you in the right direction. Follow up with customers. Take care of the things on your essential to-do list. Reach out to new prospects. Go connect with brokers in the city. If there's something that you need from a builder, if you need to take photographs of a property and send them to somebody, do the things that you need to do. And it's really easy when you're in this kind of hybrid self-employed environment to let other things take priority over your focus. And one of the things that is the word here is professionalism. And, I think everybody chose this career. We go back to the why. We chose this career because there is freedom, and that's wonderful to take advantage of it. But your freedom can never outpace the responsibility to do the things that need to be done. Your freedom can never outpace the responsibility to do the things that need to be done. And so I think the more professional you treat your career, the more professional your customers are going to treat you. Y'all hear what I'm saying there? The more professional you are at how you approach your days is how professional the customer is going to begin to treat you. If you kind of treat your career as, kind of lackadaisical, I'm just here to help when I can help or whatever, the customer is going to feel that. The customer is going to respond to that. And it doesn't have this excellent demand upon it that this is a professional that I'm working with. If you professionally own your process, your communication, your energy, which is the next thing I'm going to talk to, it demands that your customers treat you like a professional. So if you don't treat your profession like a professional, your customers are not going to treat you professionally. All right? And so that is a kind of cornerstone point one as we move into the new year. Treat your days as a professional and begin to own them. And do the consistent work of showing up and taking it serious. The second thing is the idea, I just mentioned it, of energy transfer, okay? I tend to have the benefit of being a high energy guy. That's just part of my persona. And I know that there's different personalities and not everybody is high energy. But regardless if you are extroverted or introverted, high energy or more moderate, the energy and emotion that you carry, the passion that you carry, is transferred when you are in relationship with people. And so, if you're mad at the developer, if you're mad at a builder, if you're mad at a spouse, or you're mad at a friend, and you're mad at COVID, and you're mad at the government, and if you're constantly feeding yourself negative stuff, and you're living from a place of negativity, of frustration, of complaint, all this stuff, I'm going to tell you that people don't want to do business with you because it is felt. Now, I'm not talking about having a bad day. We all have bad days. Lord knows I do. I'm talking about the type of energy that you put off when you are around folks and when you communicate with individuals. As a real estate professional in a master plan community who is inviting people in to experience something, you are the doorway by which they begin to develop their impression of this community. So your primary responsibility is not to sell them a home. Your primary responsibility is not to find the right cabinets for their house. Your primary responsibility is to transfer the emotion that you feel and believe about the community that you're in to the folks that are walking in your door. And this is where, if you don't believe that about your communities, you can never sell it to somebody who comes in the door. If you don't believe that what you have is the very best thing to offer, people are not going to buy it. And you see, what happens is then you start blaming it on other things. Oh, well, we don't have this or we don't have that. And the people just go, well, I'm going to wait or whatever. And so then you get in a cycle of blame. That draws you into a negative energy space. And then how in the world could you sell a product with negative energy that you don't believe in and all the excuses that are sitting here controlling your everyday? The answer is you can't. And so what I'm here to say, though, is this is great news, because if we know this and we know we have awesome communities, sure, there may be communication challenges. Sure, things may be delayed. Guess what? It's going to continue to happen. Those are the things you can't control. You can control the fact that you show up every day, you're consistent, treat yourself like a professional, be a professional, and then begin to transfer the energy and passion from your own life into the lives of others. This is fundamental, bottom line stuff, okay? And so I think, as we move through the year, if you have challenges with these things and you're not talking to someone, namely myself, about them, I can't help you with them. If you have all of these negative things that are going on that are frustrating you because Mr. and Miss Smith didn't do this and the bank didn't do this and the builder didn't do this and the government didn't do, if you have all of these things and you're constantly focusing on what's not happening, you're never going to dig yourself out of your own hole. You never dig yourself out of that own hole. That's why you have to get somebody in the environment with you who can help you begin to get out of these kind of bad thought patterns and cycles and these holes that we can get in. So kind of wrapping up, and I'm going to switch gears a little bit to close our call. But the primary thing that is a marker for 2021 that I'm challenging and charging all of you to do is, the first is show up and be a professional. Begin to treat yourself and believe that you are a professional. And if you believe you're a professional and you act in a professional manner, people will begin to treat you like a professional. Period. End of story. The second part of that is the energy and the transference of belief that you have. That is all selling is, essentially, is the transference of emotion and passion and belief. And you are either going to build a relationship where that emotion and energy and passion is transferred to a customer, or they are going to dominate the relationship and transfer their energy and passion over to you and convince you that that's not the situation. I'm not going to say you're going to sell everybody, but you can get to a point where 1 in 4 customers that you run into, or whatever the case might be, I don't know what the best closing ratio is, but John has an organization right now that's closing 30% of the tours that they give. 30% of the people that walk in the door for a tour are purchasing property. This is real. This can happen. And so it's about the transfer of emotion and energy. So we have to jump in the shower and wash ourselves off from the junkiness of 2020, and we have to come out clean now in 2021 and make decisions to move in this direction, to be consistent, to show up, treat yourself like a professional, and begin to transfer the passion and energy that you have to the people around you, knowing that every day something's going to get in your way to try to take that passion and energy from you, right? I'm probably going to get a phone call later on from my wife to say, babe, right now, I'm telling you, I'm going to take the kids and I'm going to put them on the side of the road, and I'm going to be in the middle of a coaching call, or I'm going to be walking into a meeting, and I can choose to let that situation get on me or not. Or I'm going to be in a meeting with a client or something, and something's going to go wrong, and there's going to be some frustration. And so what I'm saying is that every day something's going to be challenging you to take that energy, to take that passion away, and you have to hold fast to it and move forward. And the final thing that I want to share with you guys, and this is something that's come out in all of our goal setting sessions and our private conversations, is in 2021, if you have not already, change how you view the job that you're responsible to do. Because I think a lot of times, especially in these communities that are not necessarily a destination type place, these are local to the Huntsville or Madison market, and you're getting a lot of reloads and stuff. There was an article just put out that, Wilmington, North Carolina, our city, was number one on people moving into that city. And I think per John, the y'all's area of Alabama is in the top 10 in the country, meaning people are flocking to your area. And you have the best of the best in that market space, period. No questions about it. So the opportunity that's ahead of you guys is phenomenal, but we have to change our approach, okay? When we were selling real estate in Florida, it was a destination location. People were coming in from all over the country to see this destination. And so our sale was not a home. Our first sale was the destination. It was the community, right? It was an idea first. And so I fully believe that your target this year should be, I want you to give as many tours of this community as you possibly can give. Your goal is not sales. Your goal is tours. Take people and show them what's happening. Make it a destination. Make it special. It's not just, hey, can I come see some homes? It's, you have got to understand and see what's going on here. You've got to see this vision, and you have to come at it from transferring that emotion and passion. If you don't believe what you're selling is a destination location that folks should get super excited about, you've already lost. You've already lost. And so the shift is to begin to treat these properties that you're selling not as houses to sell, but you're selling an idea and a destination to experience. And then your role is the tour guide to show them this destination and clearly communicate this to them. This is why Disney World is so incredible. And right now, man, it frustrates me because of the experience, that people are missing out on. But I remember when going to Disney World with my kids, man, they do as good a job as anybody I have ever experienced at selling you on the destination and the experience of being in the Magic Kingdom with your kids watching the fireworks, right? I mean, they have got that thing down to an art. That's why they call it magical. There's nothing like it, right? And they sell it and sell it and sell it and sell it, and people pay it and pay it and pay it and pay it because it's an experience they're looking for. It's the destination that they're looking for. And Disney has said, we've got it for you. We're creating moments. We're creating experiences. We've created the destination. And now our job as an organization is to be your tour guide on how you get the greatest experience while you're here. And so this is the kind of mindset that you all have to adopt when you are navigating, carrying clients, people, prospective customers through the experience of these communities that you sell. And there are people who are probably like, what in the heck is he talking about? Experiences? Until you embrace that reality that is your job, you cannot expect to have the success that everybody says they want to expect. Because when you treat it like just selling houses and, playing realtor for customers, that's not what you guys do. You're not general brokers. You are on-site sales professionals who invite people into an experience and to a destination that you are selling. So as we launch into 2021, these are kind of the key things that I'm putting forward as a foundational piece that we have to begin to stand upon and move toward. And so all that being said, kind of wrap up, I want to open up the call. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shout them out. And if you want to talk in private, of course, we can schedule a call. But before we close up, does anybody have anything they want to share?